Hi everyone, my name is Tealvint and I'm an Arbonne independent consultant. I want to thank you for jumping on here today. I won't take too much of your time up because I know your time is valuable. But I really just want you to hear me out, hear what I have to say and hear my why. I want to start by saying an Arbonne Mercedes means nothing to me. The reason I do Arbonne is so much bigger and stronger than that. And it boils down to 3 reasons. And I'm going to let myself be super vulnerable for once because I need people to know that when they look down on this business, it does not affect me. My why is more important than any judgment. I'll start with my first. Start with the hardest, they say. All right, so I love my parents. I love my parents so much. But at the age of 12, my mother had worked herself to death. I'm not meaning I never saw her because she was always working or always tired from work. I mean she was diagnosed with an incurable disease due to stress, anxiety, and honestly working too hard. I remember lying in bed at night praying for my mum to get better, and I wasn't a religious person then, just praying like, I'll do anything, please. And I was scared. This time of my life was one of the hardest. 12 and 13-year-old girl needs her mum. You need to be taught lessons, and I do not blame her, but she couldn't simply be there, and I don't blame her for that, but she couldn't. I remember for 3 months I would wake up to her vomiting every morning. Yeah. I was frightened, and I would have given anything to take her pain away. I'm literally not joking anything. No joke, her exercise was walking to the letterbox once a day. A few years later, she started to improve, and that was the most relieving thing I've ever experienced in my whole life. But the illness is still there. Due to this, she has missed important milestones in both Kira and I's life. For example, she was too sick to attend my high school graduation. A few years ago, my grandmother was diagnosed with fibromyalgia as well, and this relief was gone. And I was just terrified again. A few months ago, I started to experience some really weird symptoms. I started to forget everything. I literally held on to my boss's FPOS business card for 3 weeks because I thought I had given it back to him, and we were searching for it for 3 weeks. And I was like, nope, I put it in your office. And it was in my bag the whole time. I started to not be able to pronounce some words, and getting what was in here out. And I remember waking up some days for my early starts at work and literally crying, hysterically crying, because I was too tired to get out of that bed and I knew I had to. So yeah, as you can imagine, actually, you know what? This happens to a lot of people. But for me, as you can imagine, for someone who works 4 jobs and studies full-time, this wasn't okay. I couldn't have this. So after putting up with it for many months, I started to get dizzy. So wanting to pass out at work, going into the bathroom and just wanting just to faint. So I decided, let's go to the doctor, girlfriend, come on. And sure enough, she said exactly what I had feared. Thank you very much. She said if you keep doing what you're doing, your body is going to force you to stop. She told me life isn't a rehearsal and to stop treating my body as if I didn't need rest. She had also told me one of my biggest fears had come true, and that I had adrenal fatigue. And this isn't what my mum had, but it's along the same lines. And sure enough, if I kept going at that rate, I would end up exactly like my mum and my grandma. Okay, so I had seen a lot of it. So I had to make a decision, a very big decision. Give up my Arbonne business or keep working long and hard to legit live week to week and give up my dreams. So this job, I was a business development manager, and I had studied marketing at this point for 2.5 years. Okay? So this should have been my job, but it just wasn't what I wanted. Both options scared me. But I decided to choose myself. Yeah. Arbonne itself is not going to give me and my family the future that we deserve, but I will. Because I will take advantage of this business and I will work towards my vision every single day. Okay, that's the first reason. Maybe the hardest, but we'll see. Number 2, if you know me, you know my brother Kia is the most important thing to me. He is my light, and without him, I do not know if I would be who and where I am today. And he's my angel on earth, truly my angel on earth. I carry this around with me. That's him. He's 15 now, but that's before he was diagnosed with Williams syndrome. So Williams syndrome is a development disorder that affects many parts of the body. The condition is characterized by mild to moderate intellectual disability or learning problems, unique personality characteristics, distinctive facial features, and heart and blood vessel problems. Now, the average lifespan for Kia is 50 years old. And I'm so lucky to get at least that time with him. But through Arbonne, I'm going to earn enough to give him a life worth living that is 1 million times over. I will take him places he never dreamed of. I will buy him 50 million thousand lawnmowers if that's what he wants. I will give him everything he needs, and he will live a life that he truly deserves. Okay. The last reason I do Arbonne is bigger than me. It's bigger than me. I'm going to create a foundation with the funds I will get from my Arbonne business that helps families and siblings of special needs children right here in New Zealand and hopefully beyond. I'm so grateful for Kia in my life, but growing up for my parents, it was not the easiest you can imagine. I remember saying to my mum so many times growing up, special needs kids only come to families who can handle it and who deserve it. And she'd always say to me, but I can't deal with it, Teal. Obviously, Mum was really sick, as I mentioned before, so this comment can be understood. But imagine if someone could have come into our home and taught us ways to deal with Kia and his big and sometimes fiery personality. Seriously, no joke, in one weekend, he smashed the front door with a hockey stick and smashed it. Oh wait, they come in, fixed it, fixer man comes and fixed it. The same day that they fixed it, he breaks it again, smashes it, front door gone again. Mum had to call another repair place because she was so embarrassed. Yeah, I love my brother. I do. I'm just going to share this story quickly with you, and I don't want it for pity. Because honestly, the bond that me and my brother have now is so rock solid. It is, I'm so lucky. I'm like the luckiest sister in the world. But when between the ages of about 13 and 17, I would get up every morning for school, and Mum was in bed because of her fatigue. I would get up, I would make Kia breakfast. Not too much strawberry jam, or else he would get really angry. And I remember every day I would go out the front door, down the ramp, down the driveway to the gate, and not every day but most days he would follow me out the door, down the ramp, down the driveway to the gate, screaming the most horrible things I've ever heard in my life. And I have no idea how he got these words, and I know he didn't mean them, but it was things like, you are ugly, you are nothing, you are worthless, you are fat. Like, I have no idea how he got these words, and I don't blame him. And for the first year it didn't affect me. I was like, yep, no, he's special needs, he doesn't know what he means. But when you hear that every single day, it builds a power and resilience in you. But it's hard. And things like that happen all over the world. And we don't realise, because there's so many terrible things happening in the world. But for me, I want to change this. And what's amazing about this business is I don't have to just change me and my family's life. I can change so many lives. And I can give it to anyone who is willing to join me. Yeah. I'm just... I will tell myself every day I can change the world until it happens. Bringing it back. And I want to bring as many people as possible with me. Imagine if you had unlimited amounts of money. What would you do? Who would you help? And I just want to say, the things you go through in life can define your purpose. Thank you for watching.